Okay,
Hey everyone,
ISOTOILET, let's
the
go.
63rd episode of Skibidi Toilet is finally out. This is the most long-awaited episode of all, but
Yeah,
it's worth
of course.
it. Today I'm going to show you all the
And the one of the most delayed. Yeah?
secrets and interesting moments that you might not have noticed. I'll show you in detail where the action takes place on the
Okay.
map, where the Titans fly to, and where the main characters are.
I
We'll
think-
talk about the return
I think Titan cameraman was upgraded.
of Plungerman, new improvements of Skibidi Toilets, and also about the Black Speaker Man. Watch the video to the end so you don't miss the best part. Let's go. The new episode is very long, almost 2 minutes long. That means my analysis will be longer than usual because there's a lot to tell you in the new episode.
Okay,
At the very
let's go.
beginning, we see the POV cameraman firing back at the Skibidi Toilets. We haven't seen cannon like this before. This is how it looks from the side. It seems like the Alliance is getting some heavy weaponry. The big cameramen go unarmed and don't attack the Skibidi.
I don't think so. This is a heavy, you know? This car is, but I think it's later. This is a lighter car.
It looks like they'll be picking up wounded agents and useful items from the Skibidi and taking it all to the base. The Skibidi Toilets here have new heads. I don't
Yeah.
remember them being blonde before. Notice those claws, exactly the same ones the new parasites had. We've seen them on mutants in Europe, and now even the regular Skibidi have them. I'll tell you later why the scientists made this invention for everyone. By the way, this is the same car from the last episode. This
Yeah, correctly, the same
once
car.
again tells us that these locations are connected somehow. I'll prove it to you later. Here, cameraman is running away from something. It seems that the battle is going on not only around the base. Notice this. It's the robotic arm of that Astro Toilet from episode 60. His left arm was broken off by a Skibidi scientist, and his right arm seems to have been
Why is here?
broken here. There are a lot of destroyed toilets lying around, and a broken APC can be seen in the distance. It looks like there's a lot of fighting going on here all the time. It's
Oh
not
my
surprising.
God.
We're somewhere in Africa, and Skibidi's base is nearby. Notice this big toilet in the distance. I'll tell you later why. Also, all the Skibidi here don't have headphones, but the helicopters that came in have them. So we're actually kind of far away from that town in episode 62. And those helicopters came from there. And they have headphones to protect themselves from the loud sound of the Skibidi scientists.
Yeah.
It's weird that the POV cameraman doesn't attack them. He just watches. Either his gun can't rise that high and shoot into the sky, or he's just seeing the Skibidi helicopter for the first time and is a bit shocked. The
I think this is error. The weapon. He can't do this with the weapon.
helicopter fires 2 rockets at once, and we are thrown out of our position by the explosion. In flight, the same newspaper with the character from GTA appears for a second. We've been seeing it a lot in recent episodes. I don't know what
think
that's
this
about.
is a item, probably. Nothing matter in the story.
I think we now know who this cameraman was running away from. Unfortunately, he was destroyed by this Skibidi spider. Notice how fast his claws strike. Skibidi's latest inventions allow them to move very fast.
Yeah.
Remember the UFO that flies fast or these mutants? By the way, he also has a new jetpack. We haven't seen one of those before. It first appeared in the 61st episode in Skibidi Jesus. By the way, we saw this picture in the leak, but there was one difference. You see this red lever right here?
Yeah.
It's not here
Yeah.
in the actual episode scene. Notice that when the spider rips off the agent's camera, we see blood as well as the sparks. Dafuk is increasingly hinting that agents aren't just robots, they also have parts that are alive. Luckily, the hypno cannon works on the robotic Skibidi just as well. But we see blue electrical discharges, like from a parasite. By the way, we're not in the Alliance base itself, I think it's one of the fortresses. There are fortifications, walls, towers, as well as we see a huge rooftop camera in the distance. The last time we saw just a big camera on the vans was in the oldest episodes.
Yeah.
Apparently, it used to stream what's going on to the base and to the Titans through the TV men. And when I saw this guy, my God, I was shocked. After all, this
Me too. This is
is
really
the same
strange.
speaker man from episode 24
Yeah,
that
this
I talked
guy.
about in my past videos. He was the only one with a black speaker, and I assumed he might be an elite fighter. Now I'm sure Dafuk is watching my analysis and taking some ideas for new videos. I would like to take this opportunity to say hi to him and wish him good luck.
Okay. This is cool.
Your videos are really cool, man, thank you. But let's get back to the analysis. We see that the black speaker man has 2 knives, just like Plunger Man had 2 plungers. There are lots of more powerful weapons, but these guys prefer something simple and effective. He also has a
This is the same as Speaker Woman. Speaker Woman has 2 knives too.
jetpack, but it's new with 4 turbines. We've never seen one of these before.
Yeah, this is
This
something
cameraman
different.
looks at him like, oh my God, Black Speaker Man, I'm standing next to a legend. Notice how much taller he is than the regular agent. When we saw him in episode 24, he was the same height as the other Speakerman. I'm sure his model has been changed.
Yeah.
His details are better drawn and the materials are nicer than they were before. In episode 24, his speaker was black with a gray circle around it. Now there is no circle and the speaker is a little red inside.
It's like a Speaker Woman.
Also, look, at this moment we can see his neck, so he's alive. I still can't figure out which one is a robot and which one isn't, but Dafuk is clearly trying to tell us something with this.
Yeah. Okay, so you remember my theory about the human?
I think in time the plot will show us the truth about the agents and the Skibidi toilets. For now, we can only guess about that. Also note that the speaker woman had 2 knives as well. I think they even know each other. And unlike the POV cameraman from episode 61, this guy really deserves to be her boyfriend. What am I talking about?
What?
I'll leave that for you to discuss in the comments. He flies up to the hypnotized spider and destroys him. Note that the Skibidi are still living creatures. If you wound their head, they will be destroyed. This means that all their robotic parts are just extensions. Each creature has its own brain and controls its own mechanical body. This is the moment that made me laugh. We see this scene develop with the series. First, in episode 24, Speakerman saved the POV cameraman and gave him a hand up. It meant something like, "I know you're in trouble, we'll help you." I think the other surviving cameramen watch all the footage on the base and admire those moments as well as we do. In episode 61, that's exactly how Speaker Woman gave her hand. By the way, I didn't even notice at the time how much higher she is above the POV cameraman. Even the black speaker man doesn't look that tall. So this time, the legendary moment didn't happen again. Perhaps that tells us something about the toughness of this guy's temper. It's like he's bringing out the strength of character in regular agents. The POV cameraman is like, "Help me, legend, I'm weakened." And Speakerman's like, "What's up, dude? Your arms and legs are in place. Get up, come on." Or maybe it was a gesture from Dafuk like, "Enough of this scene, let's move on." And then we see an APC with cameramen and the same guns. I'm surprised how powerful weapons and equipment the Alliance has now. Everything goes to the fact that soon they will win. Perhaps the author is hinting at this in the episode description too? I would be very upset if Skibidi Toilet ended anytime soon. More and more guys are becoming fans of this show every day. Hopefully Boom will keep pleasing us with new episodes in the future.
I hope this series doesn't end.
Let's get back to the military vehicle. The mutant quickly runs up to it and throws it against the ground. When I saw a mutant like that last episode, I thought he wouldn't run that fast anymore. But now we see that this technology hasn't gone away. He can move both smoothly and quickly if
he has a jetpack, so...
I think the Skibidi have learned to control that energy flow. It looks like these guys were blown up with the vehicle, but they weren't. We see them jumping away right here. By the way, this is not the same mutant we saw in episode 62 because he doesn't have a jetpack. We can also look in his toilet and see how he's organized. And I'm very surprised, but his head grows right out of the big speakerman's body. The first version looked like the head was in the toilet and the toilet was attached to the robotic torso. Here, the toilet is needed just to connect different devices to the body. For example, it's needed to allow the mutant to move quickly. But I'm still surprised that Skibidi's head was transplanted into an agent's body. By the way, this body is alive too. I'll prove it to you later. The mutant also has a powerful jetpack, like the Skibidi spider we saw earlier. Remember I told you about this big Skibidi toilet? Now we see him destroyed right here. I don't know who or what destroyed him, but his eye is looking right at us. On the ground in front of us is the same pile of garbage we saw while we were falling from the explosion at the beginning. In addition to the newspaper, there are these bags with a red sign, like the ones we saw in the last episode. It reminds us again that we're not far from that place. Notice this building right here. We saw it at the beginning there. These hills were just in front of us. So the POV cameraman was standing right here and shooting away. Then after the explosion, he flew off this way. Remember those Skibidi helicopters? At the beginning, they came in, the right one fired, and they disappeared. But after the explosion, they suddenly appeared in the sky. They must have teleported because the sound of the rotors started abruptly.
Or maybe this is a... you know, I don't think so that they have ability to teleport. Maybe this is a, you know, mistake from the recording.
By the way,
or maybe this is a teleport.
The mutant
you know?
also has headphones. Probably he is from the same Skibidi scientist squad that captured the city in the last episode. Note that at first, the Black Speakerman is ready to attack Skibidi. But we see Plungerman show up in a glitchy toilet and Speakerman decides to just stand there and watch. I think it is because Plungerman was in recovery and hadn't been in battle for a long time. Speakerman is like, okay, he should deal with them on his own. He needs to remember how to do it. By the way, there's a ripped-off camera on the ground right there, and next to it is the body of the destroyed agent. But this is not one of the cameramen who were in the car because they all jumped away. This is the agent that Skibidi Spider destroyed in the beginning. Note that when Plungerman crashes into the mutant on the glitchy toilet, plungers are left on his face. The mutant
this is so funny.
Very well, like he's done it before. Yes, I'm hinting again that the Skibidi were human previously. Now when his head is attached to the human body again, things are like they used to be. The plunger cameraman hangs in the air for a moment to store energy. Then he slams with all his might into the Skibidi mutant and destroys him. Actually, he could have done it right away, on the first try. Either Plungerman has not yet learned to control this toilet well, or he just got tired of life without battles and decided to have fun and tease the enemy.
This is one of the best scenes in this episode, you know?
Anyway, he survived unharmed and landed right in front of us. Now let's analyze what happened to Plungerman. Remember in episode 54, the TV woman along with the cyborg scientist disarmed the glitchy toilet. I can now say for sure that he has been destroyed.
Yeah.
His toilet has now become a vehicle for Plungerman. By the way, compare these images.
You know, I hope they will much more upgrade you know, ninja cameraman.
It looks like the toilet is bigger now so that the agent can sit inside. All the equipment remains the same size. These pins and plunger guns were added. I don't think the plungers are very effective. He just really likes them. After Plungerman was badly injured in episode 57, I told you he stayed alive. We assumed he would become a mini Titan, since his legs and one arm were broken off. But Dafouk made a genius move. In addition to being fixed and unchanged, Plungerman now has a flying machine. And it's no ordinary one. It's one of Skibidi Toilet's strongest inventions. When he landed...
Yeah, I make theory about that they will get glitch upgrades, but right now this is not an upgrade, but only vehicle.
I thought his legs had never been repaired. It seemed as if he had been joined to a toilet and now he would always fly like that. This cameraman must have thought the same thing and got a plunger in his face. And I was very happy that his legs and arms were restored, but that said, Plungerman is a robot. By the way, his lower camera is now glowing again. I hope he had a chance to see Camera Woman before he came here. I'm sure this isn't the place where Plungerman was repaired. First of all, it's very dangerous for scientists to be here. The Skibidi break through the defenses and get right behind the fence. Secondly, based on the cameraman's reaction, this is the first time he's seen the Plungerman rebuilt. This agent is also watching with interest. So there's another base where Plungerman was repaired. That's where the glitchy toilet was taken for research. And I think the base is nearby. Cameras picked up that the outpost was under Skibidi Toilet's attack and needed help. So they sent reinforcements.
By the way, look at this. Here. There is a cameras here. Do you see that? Here.
Toilet's attack and needed help. So they sent reinforcements from the base. It could even be a guard station in front of a huge Alliance base. This guy was in the same squad as Plungerman. He's his battlemate. I already talked about him and his black camera brother in this video. You can watch it when you're done with this one. What about the plungers, by the way? I think he's going to use them to shoot Skibidi in the face and blind them. Apparently, Skibidi scientists also realized this and decided to make mechanical claws for all the toilets. Skibidi can use them to detach the plunger from their faces. Plungerman's gesture was clearly not out of anger. They're definitely on good terms and just messing with each other. Cameraman is like, huh, and that's your new improvement? A toilet with plungers? And Plungerman's like, fuck you. These plungers are cool. Of course, the average cameraman gives him a thumbs up. He's happy to greet the legend. Notice that he has something behind his back.
Yeah.
There used to be a jetpack, but it exploded in episode 57. I think it's the mechanism that Plungerman uses to attach himself to the glitchy toilet. We see a special attachment here too.
Ah, yeah.
By the way, did you notice the secret agent right
Yeah,
there?
secret agent.
This time we can definitely see that it's Dafouk himself. He looks exactly like the model in one of his leaks. It looks like no one notices him except the POV cameraman. Perhaps in the world of Skibidi Toilets he doesn't exist. He's like a god. He decides who can see him, and apparently only we can see him watching these videos. What he shows up for, I don't know. At this point, it's like he's looking at Plungerman, who created by him. Also, this shimmering texture here is a regular Half-Life model, just like this fence around the outpost. By the way, the mutant is still alive, he's not destroyed. But he can't open his eyes thanks to these spikes on the toilet. And then something unexpected happens. The wounded speakerman stuns the mutant with all his might with his speaker. Then he stabs him with something sharp, but it's not a sword. It looks like the broken off metal arm of this mutant right here. Only we've seen him in Europe and now we're in Africa. I think Skibidi started making a lot of toilets with robotic claws. Also, the big speakerman has a broken arm and another claw like this sticking out of his chest. It looks like he was in a fight with one of these Skibidi, defeated him and took his weapon. The mutant falls as soon as his head is damaged. This means that he is not a robot, but a living creature. By the way, check out the bloody marks on Speakerman's shirt. Dafouk is increasingly telling us that agents aren't just robots. They're...
I told you guys, you said that this is oil. I think this is not oil.
kind of bio-robots.
Yeah.
Probably that Speakerman is the same one we saw in the city last episode. It's the same nature here as there. I think we're not too far from that place. I had an idea where the action was in episode 62, Iraq or Libya. I looked at pictures of nature in those countries, and now I'm sure we're in Libya. Compare it for yourself. Now I think it's time to show you on the map who is where. In episode 57, Titan Cameraman's squad was in Dubai. When they cured Titan Speakerman, they made their way to Europe together. We see this in episodes 58 and 59. Meanwhile, Plungerman was wounded and sent to the base. I'm guessing the base is either in Libya or somewhere nearby because he flew in for backup very quickly. Also, in episode 57, there was also this cameraman in a blue suit with a white camera with them. He, along with Plungerman and the rest of the squad, traveled here to Libya. In episode 60, we saw the Skibidis meet at some airport. I assumed it was either a Skibidi base or a guard post near it, so it's somewhere deep in Africa. That's where G-Man probably flew to after losing the battle in Dubai. But after meeting him, Skibidi scientists led his squad to Libya and attacked that city. Everyone in that squad had headphones. We see these Skibidi attacking Alliance guard posts now, so they must have come from there. So the scientist is doing a demonstration battle to lure the Titans to Africa. He's probably gone somewhere else, probably to his base. And his remaining soldiers attacked a guard post nearby in Libya. Also remember
Wow, this is so
that in
crazy.
the 61st episode, POV cameraman was wearing a red shirt. I think it's the black brother because the white one was with Titan and then ended up here. It turns out that Speaker Woman and the black cameraman in the blue suit are now in the US. Now we see that the Titans and
Yeah,
their squad are flying by. It turns out that they have liberated Europe and are flying past Libya deep into Africa, straight to the Skibidi Toilet base. I have tried to put the whole picture together for you, but this is just my vision. I may be wrong about something, I can't know for sure. But this strange plane is definitely coming from the same place. But somewhere along the way, he stopped and resupplied his bombs. By the way, there are some cameraman cargo
yeah, this is cargo from the first
planes among the
episodes.
Titans and engineer helicopters. I thought we wouldn't see them again because they were destroyed. But that's not true. They are still used to transport agents around the world to different locations. There are also Speakerman airplanes like this one here. And did you notice that Titan cameraman has some sort of cannons on his arms?
Yeah,
I recall that in episode 55, his cannon was broken and he threw it away. But now he seems to have been improved again. Hopefully his cannons are more powerful than the previous one. I think we're going to see an epic battle between the Titans and the Skibidi scientist. And the main problem is that the scientist has huge claws that could be electrifying. He's big enough to grab and neutralize the Titans with them. I think if the improved Titan TV man comes back during the battle and helps his friends, it will be mega epic. Anyway, we'll see how it goes. By the way, my Instagram followers
okay, guys. Wow, this episode from ISOTOILET was really great. Oh my god, so many things happened and we need to wait another week for the next episode. Oh my god. Watch my other videos, click on the screen.